Hey, come see us on tour. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So now a couple weeks ago, you went to a gay pride fest.
Yeah.
And I think it was in Texas. And let's just play a little bit of it, and then we'll get your reaction to it. Here you are just asking people straight up questions that are just normal questions that you would think adults would be able to have answer and have these kind of discussions, but we're going to find out that they can't. Here we go.
In here. Yeah. How do you feel about gender affirming care for minors being banned here in Texas?
The government should have no say-so in what a parent's decision is for healthcare for their child. Like, that's not up for a political debate.
And see how like we can listen to opinions and like it's just an opinion, it's just a person talking, whereas like they're afraid to like talk or us talk. Do you think Trump or Biden is more supportive of gay marriage between the two? Because Trump was the first president to enter.
Piece of shit. I hope he rots in prison.
That's an opinion, but he was the first president to enter office supporting gay marriage, like in history.
Say that again?
He was the first president to enter office supporting gay marriage. No, it's objectively true.
It's really not. Oh, is that what's happening?
It's true.
Are you trans and
Ew, they're like mentally ill.
supporting Trump?
I didn't read that.
If you are, then fuck you. You're gonna be on.
Whoa,
That's so.
that was like tortoise in the hair.
So that you make an objectively true point, and I never thought about it until I heard you make it. That Obama didn't support gay marriage when he came into office. Bill Clinton didn't support gay marriage when he came into office.
They think it's a sacrament.
The first president to support gay marriage coming into office was Donald Trump. I never even thought about that. So you ask them, who do you think supports gay marriage more? And they end up you're not allowed to have a different political opinion. You're only allowed to have one opinion. That's called groupthink. That's what Orwell warned us against. And so there they are, the gay community, which is supposed to be open-minded, being the most narrow, constrictive, rigid thinkers. And if you step out of line, you're told to go fuck yourself. That is, isn't that crazy? So how do you think they don't see that they've become the thing they claim to hate?
What, a silly white woman?
A rigid, narrow, groupthink enforcer. You're not allowed to. The whole thing about being gay is that you are supposed to be out of the box and do your own thing, but you can't have a different political opinion. How do you deal with that?
It's kind of nut. They can understand 1,000 genders and not two different opinions. Just one opinion and 1,000 genders. Quite literally, by the way, if people watch that whole video, one of the questions I asked everyone was, how many genders are there? And every single person said infinite. Their answer was infinite.
It's like the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a butterfly, cosmic butterfly. But it's weird because the idea that Trump hates gay people is what? I mean, he had a gay wedding at his house like 2 months ago. Show me someone who likes gay people enough to have a gay wedding at their house. I mean, I wouldn't do that.
So why do you think that gay guy...
Well, now black people are kind of gay people if you read the flag.
Why do you think... if you read the flag. Why do you think gay people like that have such a visceral hate for not only Trump, who, as you said, supports gay marriage, but someone like you, who's obviously gay, is trans, but just has a different political opinion? Like, how does being a Democrat... it's intertwined with being gay?
I know you ain't black, but why the gay part?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's this weird sort of thing that pops up in, smaller groups of people that do have that sort of government psyop put on them. Black people deal with it as well, right? It's like, if you're black, there's a certain script you have to go off. It's a little more loose than the gay community because the gay community is a little smaller. But I think the smaller a group is and the more that they feel like they're like fighting for survival, because part of that brainwashing is making them feel like they're undergoing a current genocide against them right now. They literally say that. So a lot of them are literally thinking.
I've heard a gay Amish guy on YouTube say that there's a genocide being...
Was it a character? It was a real guy who's like, I'm gay and Amish.
You know the guy.
Oh, wait.
I've heard that guy say it, that there's a genocide being perpetrated on the trans community.
Yeah, they say that.
Tis a genocide, English.
It's such a sick talking point because at the end of the day, if you take out like all the, you know, fetishists and people who are calling themselves trans that aren't, if you look at even just actual like real trans people, it's like they're dealing with a mental health condition. So it's like you're telling people already dealing with other mental health issues, and there's a genocide happening against you. And so you can see how sometimes, you know, when their talking points get so hysterical, I genuinely feel like some of them feel like they're fighting for survival in every moment, which is, you know, pretty sad. And you can actually gain some empathy for how they've been psyoped, right? It's like, this is also one of my things when I look back at COVID and how we all treat each other during the pandemic. I finally got to a place a little while ago, maybe like 6 months ago, where I started to get almost emotional and feel empathy for people that, you know, I looked back and were screaming at me to put a mask on, or, you know, being crazy in the streets about it, or enforcing, you know, social distancing in this rude, you know, offensive way to people who didn't want to comply. And it's almost like I feel bad for them. Their minds have been manipulated so much that I can look at the community and say that, you know, sometimes, maybe not for this guy that said F you, you know. I think
Depends on your job. A lot of these people got like marketing, all these stinking WeWork kind of jobs. And the higher up you are in that, they rooted out everyone who's not a conformist and not part of the hive mind at these companies. So where were you in Texas?
That was in Round Rock, which is a suburb of Austin. And I had done a previous one in LA. And so I thought maybe Texas would be like a little less.
There's a lot of tech.
So here, so you actually were, so that wasn't the only hostility that you met at that Pride event. The security actually was hounding you and stalking you. I don't think that's too strong of a word. Let's watch a little bit of it. They didn't want you talking to anybody. They didn't want grown-up people to be interviewed by a trans woman who had maybe a different political opinion than them. It's
not safe. Now, excuse me, I got to get a butt plug for my kid.
It's the exact opposite of what gay culture is supposed to be about. Gay culture is, I always thought, was supposed to be about diversity of opinion and being able to do your own thing and have different thoughts and live a different way. Yeah. But I'm going to show you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You can play it.
Did you not go to college?
Watch this.
Yeah. Why are you still following me? Do you identify as a bully? Hi. So why didn't you do anything when the person was screaming?
So they got they have multiple security people following her. Yeah. And now you're going to ask, hey, why don't you do anything when that guy was saying, fuck you, go fuck yourself, and here.
Having to be hauled off by his friend. Only when I ask questions respectfully to everyone? Okay. Hey, boo, what's up? Hi. We're being treated kind of badly here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do not engage with the police. Don't engage with them.
Look how crazy this person is. What the This is a fan of mine. Get away from me.
Accent?
Oh my.
So
I think so.
That's outrageous.
So
oh my God.
And then Mr. Ponytail comes over and starts telling, don't engage with her. Don't engage with her.
I think that was a woman, Jimmy.
Like that is.
No, it was a man.
Oh. My bad.
like the Gestapo came in and was going to let you know who the good people are to talk to and who the bad people are. By the way, that person was a fan of yours.
Yeah. And it was insane because, you know, in this supposed hierarchy, you know, these people talk so much about how trans women are under attack and that genocide we talked about and all this hysteria about the totem pole of who needs protection in the community the most, which they would say is trans women. And like, from what I could see, I was the only trans woman there. It was drag queens, gay guys, whatever. And I'm being like followed by 4 security who were cussing me out. It's like, I'm the only one being attacked. And I was just asking questions. It was sick.
Let me play a little bit more of that.
Cuff me, I'm a conservative.
Are you following me too?
Oh, this guy hates
Hi, are you following me too? You don't know?
You're causing problems.
How am I causing
He says you're causing problems. He says you're the one causing problems. And then and watch how he tries to flip it on you. Watch this.
Problems.
I did hear that.
But what problems though?
When antagonizing people, making them upset.
So do you think the person that's like respectfully asking questions, people's opinions is the problem, or the people that are screaming "fuck you"?
What have we done that's hindered you? We haven't done anything.
So now his standard was you're antagonizing people and upsetting them. But then when someone does something horrible to you, he's like, well, what have we done to hinder you? It's like he completely abandons his level of harassment. Here, there's more to this. Let's watch.
I just told you there was a person who had to be held back by a person screaming "F you," and I'm just asking respectful questions.
Freedom of speech.
I absolutely believe in
So
freedom.
now he completely flips it. Now he's like, well, what? You don't believe in freedom of speech? Well, you're the one who said she couldn't have her freedom of speech because she was antagonizing people with
This
their
feels
speech.
like a trick.
That's right. He completely abandons. He completely abandons what his platform of what he's trying to say. So there's more to this. Why it gets even worse. This guy's really kind of despicable.
Speech, but you're saying that I'm.
Say that to you.
It absolutely is, but in terms of security for an event, I just question why you would think the bigger problem is someone asking people's opinions and respecting all opinions over the person that's having to be physically held back and screaming "F you" in a public place with kids around.
Do you feel unsafe?
I don't feel unsafe at all.
Why is there any concern?
You're fake as fuck.
But why? So why are you following her around? Does anybody there
Why
feel?
is this conversation happening,
Right,
sir?
right.
Ginger Bear.
Right.
Is she making people feel unsafe? Then why are you following her around? Why are you stalking
Are
her?
you even gay, sir, with that shirt? You better be.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on.
Why is there any concern?
You're fake as fuck.
I didn't hear that.
But you felt it.
Felt what?
You're fake.
I felt what?
You're fake.
I'm fake.
You're fake. Because you know in your heart that between two people, one person, hi, what's your opinion on something? Being respectful the whole time. And the other person, F you, oh my God, no, hold me back. That's the problem person, right?
Sure.
Right. But yet you're following me, and the person who did that's probably just off doing.
I'm just keeping an eye on you.
You said you don't know if you're following me, and you're keeping an eye on me. So if I walk over there, you're going to be so fine turning that way and walking that way?
No, I'm going to continue to keep an eye on you.
That's why I said you're fake.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Being called fake by you?
You're fake. Why? Why?
Well, I think we both know why.
Why?
You know exactly the kind of person that you want.
You guys never say what you feel. Like, you guys love to say, vague statements of, I know why, you know what you're doing, but you can't say it. Because you don't have a reason. Because you're fake as fuck.
Great, you just blew his cover as a
And
vice
you're
cop.
following me.
It used to kept following me. Insane.
And so that guy wouldn't
Yeah.
stop following you. So go ahead.
Yeah, I hated him. And the rainbow security getup was killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like an
Like I
undercover
could not
cop.
respect that.
It looked
It
like
just
I now
didn't
pronounce.
look tough. It's like,
Yeah,
it didn't look tough.
he looks like I
Um,
now pronounced you Chuck and Larry. If you ever saw that movie.
Yeah. But he just kept lying,
Yeah.
right? He just had
Yeah.
to, and then exactly what you said, when you ask him a direct question, he has to speak in vagaries and he has to beat around the bush. He just can't say, oh, being called fake by you. Well, what does that mean? Well, I think we both know what it means. Well, why can't you say what it means then?
Yeah,
What-
just say it then. If we both know it, then let it be known.
You're that much of a coward. That is a
knew-
very cowardly thing to do. And that's what
yeah.
seems like go ahead. I'll let you say it.
I kind of guessed that reaction would be sort of like that. I just didn't think it would be that bad. And for me, it's clear that like they have a caricature in their mind of who I am, which is villain, right? So nothing I could be doing there would be anything respectful, positive, good for anyone. And so they just ran with that. But if you look at the reasons why I'm this villain to them, it's like, okay, I don't think minors should have their genitals removed. I, make videos busting pedophiles. I believe in limited government. It's like, it's really sick how much they can turn like very normal views into something that's somehow a threat to them, and what they don't understand is they're a threat to themselves.
Well, go to school for that trick.
Here's you at the West. I think this was in Los Angeles at a Pride parade.
Yeah.
And you asked people how many genders there are, and this was of all the responses, this was my favorite. Here, watch this.
How many genders are there?
No.
Huh?
I think it's like
That's not a number.
I forgot about that.
Ah.
I forgot about that because it's so old now. But oh my god, that's hilarious.
Here, let's watch the whole.
I think that's the only right answer too.
Let's watch the whole clip. Here we go.
How many genders are there?
no. I think it's like it's.
wanted to.
yeah.
And it's just like that question.
Say that. Say that.
It's like, why are you asking that question?
No, that's the
So
answer.
she's asking you that. So okay, okay.
That's the answer.
That question shouldn't even be a question.
I mean, we're just all in the community asking questions that like we all talk about.
It's really sad.
Wow.
So-
It is sad
Oh,
that
God,
that
that's so
question
funny.
can't be answered.
Can't be answered. Just
'Cause
like
you
what
guys
is a
know there's
woman?
Unlimited.
Just like what is a woman? Well, a
Yeah.
lot of people did say that. Infinite.
Oh.
As many
I mean,
stars.
it's a stupid answer, but what
But-
is a woman? Do you mean biologically or legally? Well, there's a lot of ways out of it, but they want to leave it blank
yeah.
because they might have to erase it and change it later.
Blaire, what do you say?
But that's what's so crazy because when you mindlessly defend this answer that you're not even sure of in your own head,
Yeah.
you just know there's an answer that makes you look like an evil person or a bigot or a Republican or whatever. It's like, so they don't even like think out these positions
It don't
that
come
they
off too
ruin
bright.
people's lives over. They get people fired over these positions and they don't even really know them themselves.
So, Blaire, what would you say is a woman?
An adult human female, especially if you're talking biologically. There's obviously a legal definition. You can change your gender, but even that used to be so heavily safeguarded that socially there's like almost no answer now. But, you know, I always say I am a trans woman. That's a very specific thing. That's not a woman. You know, a woman is someone who grew up and has the experience of being a girl, right? Like that days of girlhood that Dylan Mulvaney claims he would never know because he never experienced that. And I've never experienced womanhood in the terms of being born that way. I experienced some things women experience due to a transition, but that's not enough for me to just blindly say I'm a woman. I'm a trans woman, and that's a very specific category. And I actually like to take it to, if you look at Thailand, there's this thing called a lady boy that people talk about, right? And it's kind of a funny like phrase, and you know, there's a lot of memes and jokes about that. But if you actually talk to them and look at interviews with, you know, people who call themselves ladyboys in Thailand, they don't say they're a woman. They say they're different from a woman, you know? And so for me, it is a different category. Doesn't mean it's a new gender, but it's a different category of person. And the idea that that must fit into the woman category, I mean, it's just not true. So why claim it?
How many
You know, that's not to say, obviously, that, you know, in my everyday life, it's like if someone refers to me as a woman, because obviously I present that way and most people think that, I'm not going to correct people and be like, actually, that's not correct. But if we're having conversations about biology, about how to solve these social issues, then it is different than a woman.
How many, let me ask you, Blaire, how many genders are there?
I mean, there's two. It's not a, you know,
Do you know?
algebraic expression here. You know, there's a million ways you can present yourself. Again, too, does not mean that it's like a new gender. You know, this is something that like every other species has figured out. So it's just, again, and when I first started transitioning, by the way, back in, you know, a decade ago in trans years is like 50 years. But, you know, back then there was no one saying there's more than two. Even trans people back then, that was not a thing. Kids transitioning, that was not a thing. This whole like, I am a woman because I say so, that wasn't a thing. If anything, you know, the trans community used to laugh at people like that. Transsexuals were like, that's crossdresser talk. You don't just get to say you're a woman. It doesn't make sense.
Well, what's the point of transitioning to the other gender if there's no such thing as that? Like, it's erasing the whole point.
Well, that's what
Right.
exactly. It's a great point, Kurt. And I never understood if they say, well, genitalia doesn't make your gender or it's it. And well, then why such an emphasis on
100%.
on bottom surgery and things like that? Why such an, if that doesn't make you, so it's just filled with contradictions. Well, listen, Blaire, is there anything that I didn't ask you wish I had? Because we have to wrap up. So if there's anything you'd like to say.
No.
Okay, we cover?
No, this was a good talk. I think we covered a lot.
I really appreciate you making time and coming on, and I appreciate your activism around this topic. And I think that the pendulum is swinging, and people are going to be able to trust their eyes and ears again, and they're going to have to not listen to the party. And
Your answer was wrong about how many genders there are, by the way. The correct answer is no.
No.
the correct answer is no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
So anyway, thank you so much for making time, Blaire White.
Yeah.
Everybody check out her YouTube show, and we'll talk to you again soon, I hope.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, come see us on tour. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.